Hi, this is Mrs. Knopf, and today we are going to continue working in our method book on the clarinet with line 30, dreidel, dreidel. So let's get started. We are using all of the notes and rhythms that we already know, so this is really a review. We start out with a treble clef at the beginning, followed by our time signature. We are in 4/4 time. That tells us that we have 4 beats in every measure. That's the top number. And the bottom number tells us the value of the whole note if we were to have one. Even if we don't have a whole note or a whole rest, we can still use that information to figure out the value of everything else. So if the whole is worth 4, half of a whole is a half of 4 is 2. So we have a couple of half notes that get 2 beats, and there's a half rest at the very end that also gets 2 beats. Then half of a half is a quarter, half of 2 is 1. So we have quarter notes and quarter rests that we learned in the last video that get 1 beat each, either a beat of sound or a beat of silence. So now we're going to go through and see what our notes are and look for patterns. So our first measure, and actually our first 6 notes, we're going back and forth between open G on the second line and an E on the first line, which is thumb and 1. So we're going G, E, G, E, G, E. Then we have a quarter rest. We have another E, and then we go back to our open G on the second line. That's in measure 3. We have 2 of them. Then we go thumb down for the F in the first space, add the first finger for the E on beat 4, that's on the first line, and then we end the phrase on a D, which is a half note, and that's the first thing in measure 4. Following that half note D, we have a quarter rest, and then there's a quarter note D. That D is a pickup into measure 5 on the next line. Another name for pickup is anacrusis. So our pickup or anacrusis into line 2 is the D on beat 4 of measure 4. And then we have a similar pattern from measure 1, but we take it down a step. F to D. F, D, F, D, F, D, quarter rest. Another D, and now we're going to do our 5-note scale descending. G, F, E, D, C. The C is a half note, followed by a half rest. So start each note with a T sound and carry the airstream for the full value of the note. And let's get started. Here we go. And 1, 2, ready. And that is it for line 30, dreidel, dreidel on the clarinet. Don't forget, your new word today is anacrusis. That is a pickup note into a new measure. So I hope you found this helpful, and we'll see you next time.